What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon, crypto universe. Today is Friday, September 8th. In today's video, I'm going to share with you top 5 crypto stocks I think you should have in your portfolio. Now, these top 5 crypto stocks are actually related to BlackRock. And as we know, BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world. And if you don't know, they actually filed a spot Bitcoin ETF not too long ago. And this is absolutely amazing. So if BlackRock's ETF is passed by the SEC and it becomes tradable for normal institution family offices and normal retail investors, that means BlackRock and their investment portfolio could definitely skyrocket. So I want to share with you 5 different crypto stocks that BlackRock is actually invested in or is about to invest in. And I'll share that all with you easily in this video. So be sure to stick around to the very end to hear my conclusion and statement around all these different crypto stocks. And as always, you have to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our Patreon page. And most importantly, please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. So guys, girls, let's get right into it. So let's talk about BlackRock, but most importantly, let's talk about the first 3 different crypto stocks that I want you guys to see. Now, if you scroll down over in this portfolio, you do know that BlackRock does have investments in not just Bitcoin, but mainly Bitcoin related companies such as mining companies. So the first 3 we're going to look at is Riot Platforms, Marathon Digital, and also Hut 8 Mining. And now, Riot Platforms, apparently BlackRock has invested a large amount of around $1.92 billion, while for Marathon Digital, around $1.83 billion, and Hut 8 Mining, like literally $500 million. So I want to talk about these 3 mainly. But before we start, let's talk about the ETF, because again, when BlackRock filed for their Bitcoin ETF application with the SEC, just remember that there have been over 575 of these ETFs, not related to Bitcoin, but just other ETFs that BlackRock has filed, and they've all been approved, and only one has been denied out of that 575. Now, they have filed the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. So what does that actually mean? That means that there could be a likely chance that BlackRock's ETF application could be approved by the deadline of March of 2024, which is a month away from April 2024, which is the day or the month that the Bitcoin halving is happening. This is very exciting. So let's go ahead and talk about those stocks that could definitely help BlackRock. Now, what I'm seeing here is that Riot Platforms is at a $10 price point. Again, you can only buy these stocks if you're in the US, and also it's on NASDAQ. So if you have Charles Schwab, or if you have Robinhood or other different apps that you can use to trade on actual NASDAQ stocks, this is the first stock I want everybody to think about having on the portfolio. Because think about it, right now this stock is around $10. Now, back in 2007, it used to be almost close to $4,000, and obviously has not seen that price point ever since. But again, Riot Platforms being the main mining company that BlackRock has heavy investments in, I definitely don't think you should sleep on this, because something happened recently, and that something happened in Texas. So I don't know if you know, but there's a huge heat wave going on within the United States, but more specifically in Texas. So Texas actually paid Bitcoin miner Riot $31 million to shut down their facilities during the heat wave. Why? You may think that this is a bad article, but it isn't. The reason Texas paid Riot $31 million is because Riot decided to give some of the energy that they were using for the Bitcoin mining operation and give it back to the grid. So it's actually helping the grid sustain energy for people across Texas to have their homes, to have air conditioning. And that's what's great about these mining facilities. And so that's absolutely bullish in my opinion. So again, I think that Riot Mining Facilities is one of the top leading companies in the US right now. And it really is going to be something that I think the US is going to adopt. Because again, this is about a company that's not just focused in Texas, but could be expanded throughout the US. So considering that Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin mining energy isn't just for Bitcoin and to literally mine Bitcoin at every single transaction, it can actually help cities garner their energies and also help prevent another shutdown of energy or electricity in these homes, especially during climate change. So keep that in mind. I definitely think Riot is one of the top crypto stocks out there right now. But let's just not talk about that. Let's also talk about Marathon Digital Holdings, because right now it's trading around $10 US. Now, its all-time high used to be around $150, but that was back in 2012. But again, what if BlackRock and their ETF for Bitcoin is approved, yes, Riot would do really well, but also Marathon would do really well too. Now, if we look at what's going on with Marathon, it says here, a Bitcoin mining firm in the United States, Marathon, has released its financial results for the second quarter of 2023. The report revealed an impressive 228% rise in revenue compared to the same period in 2022. The company disclosed a profit of around $23 million derived of selling 63% of its Bitcoin mined during the quarter, which was utilized to cover the operational expenses. Additionally, they reported impairment charges amounting to around $8.4 million related to their digital assets evaluation. Now, as of August 31st of 2023, Marathon held around 13,286 Bitcoin with 13,111 Bitcoin available without restrictions. During August, the company sold roughly around 750 Bitcoin with plans to continue selling portions of its Bitcoin holdings in the future. So why is this article very important? Because say for instance with Marathon Digital Holdings, they mine Bitcoin, but they also can use that Bitcoin that they've earned to mine Bitcoin and sell it so that it can stay in profit. That's another reason why I think when Bitcoin becomes an ETF within the United States, not only will BlackRock do really well, Riot will do really well, but also Marathon will do really well because they're all related to BlackRock. And this is why BlackRock thinks really towards the future of innovation within Web3 and digital technologies within this industry, especially around blockchain. But the fact of mining is absolutely something that I think people should keep in mind. So that's why Marathon is on my second top crypto stocks. But let's talk about the third one. Now, this is called Hut 8 Mining. Now, again, they only had $500 million invested in this company. Now, this is around $2 at the time of this recording. Its all-time high was around $15, but that was back in November 12th of 2021. Remember that time? That was during the bull run of Bitcoin cryptocurrencies and also NFT, surprisingly. Now, keep in mind, I've been hearing some rumors that, yes, BlackRock has invested in this company and other articles saying, no, they actually haven't invested just yet. But I want this to be on your radar anyways, because not only is, per share a great entry point, but also this news came out. So shares of several crypto-related stocks are higher after federal court has ordered the Security Exchange Commission to review its rejection of the application from Grayscale's investments to convert its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, also known as GBTC, into a spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, as a result of that, if you don't know, the SEC lost its recent lawsuit against Grayscale. That lawsuit is still going on. That means the SEC has to approve of their ETF at some point, hopefully by March of 2024. But as a result of all this happening, Hut 8 actually benefited from this. So it says here that Hut 8 Mining Group shares are moving higher on an above trading volume. According to Bazinga, more than 9.5 million shares have already been traded in the session, compared to the stock's 100-day average of 11 million shares being traded. So it seems like Hut 8 Mining Corp and their share is correlated to the ETF that's going to be approved by Grayscale. But again, if that happens, if say for instance Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust is approved for an ETF, then that helps Hut 8 Mining, and Hut 8 Mining helps BlackRock, if that makes any sense to you whatsoever. And that's why I think even though whatever the rumors are, if BlackRock is invested in this or not invested in this, I just wouldn't skip out on this opportunity. This is something that I think everybody should keep an eye out for. And I think Hut 8 Mining should definitely on your top 3 in terms of top crypto stocks. So let's talk about the last 2, which are a little bit more speculative. But again, I want to share with you anyways because they're related to BlackRock. And the next stock is Coinbase. And you must be wondering, oh no, do I want to invest in Coinbase? Now, Coinbase is a centralized exchange based here in the US. But I'll tell you what, Coinbase is the only exchange that's really fighting against the SEC, fighting for clarity for retail investors and protecting institutional investors as well. So Coinbase right now is being considered one of the main custodies for many different exchanges. But also, most importantly, even though it's at a $82 price point and has fallen ever since its initial IDO or ICO around almost $300, keep this in mind. BlackRock is deciding to choose Coinbase as its custody trading platform for its clients over at Aladdin. And Aladdin is a huge investment portfolio of different hedge funds and major high net worth individuals. And they're using BlackRock because BlackRock is there kind of middleman to allow them to have a safe exposure to Bitcoin without actually buying Bitcoin. So BlackRock filed for their ETF and decided to partner with Coinbase as their custody holder. So really, I think that's really amazing. The fact that they're partnering with Coinbase Prime allows their institutional investors to have tons, like billions upon trillions of dollars in the portfolio. So I definitely think Coinbase could definitely benefit from an ETF being passed by BlackRock. And that Coinbase stock can definitely benefit from any ETF, from Grayscale, from Fidelity, from Invesco, anything that you can think of. Whatever happens, BlackRock is gonna benefit from that, but also Coinbase and their stock as well. And so I think definitely Coinbase stock, I want everybody to keep on the radar. But again, is this a time to buy in at this price? Because $82 is a lot of money. And that's why it's on the 4th on my list. So we have to talk about the 5th top crypto stock that's on my list, but it's a little bit more expensive, and there's a reason for that, and that is MicroStrategy. It's a whopping $356 US. Now, its all-time high price was before 2002, roughly around $3,000, and maybe at its recent high, it used to be around $800, but again, that was 2021 when MicroStrategy was buying a ton of Bitcoin. Again, MicroStrategy has the largest Bitcoin portfolio that I know of, a company that has publicly shared this to everybody. And now I want to share with you what's going on with MicroStrategy because BlackRock has exposure to it. Now, BlackRock holds around 12,224 Bitcoin at the time of this article of August 24th of 2023 because they have an equivalent of 8.1% of MicroStrategy. So basically, instead of buying Bitcoin themselves, they decided to buy shares of MicroStrategy, around 8.1% of MicroStrategy, which means that they hold 12,224 of Bitcoin. So that's why it's really beneficial for the MicroStrategy holders or anybody that holds that stock, why it's important for BlackRock's ETF to be passed or any other ETF from any other application. But if BlackRock's ETF is passed, then you can imagine that MicroStrategy's basically stock would pump from that. But again, the price point of MicroStrategy is very high. Not many people can buy MicroStrategy at its current share price right now. And I'm not sure if you can buy micro shares of MicroStrategy on any other platform, maybe on Robinhood, maybe not. But regardless, it is the most expensive, and that's why that's the last on my list. But again, MicroStrategy has the largest Bitcoin holding that I know publicly out there in the US, and maybe exceeds more than what Elon Musk, Tesla, and SpaceX have together. And MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor, the founder, continue to buy Bitcoin because they know it's going to do well. And Michael Saylor is working with politicians within Congress to make Bitcoin a commodity, a registered commodity with the SEC and every other centralized financial office out there. So keep that in mind. And the last thing I want to share with you is this. How is Bitcoin performing compared to Berkshire Hathaway? Now, if you don't know, Warren Buffett is the owner of Berkshire Hathaway. And he was bearish on Bitcoin ever since it began. He's very bearish on Bitcoin. He's bearish on the community, its utilization. But again, if you think about it, based on this article, Bitcoin is outperforming Berkshire Hathaway, again, posting 55% versus 60% returns year to date. So that's very interesting why Bitcoin, why all these different companies such as BlackRock, Riot, Marathon, Hut 8, Coinbase, or MicroStrategy could be in the next new bull run in 2024 for the next Bitcoin halving in April 2024. So as a conclusion and statement, if you want to know all my personal trades around all these different shares, how much I have exposure into it, when are we deciding to sell, well, you need to subscribe to our Patreon page, which is down in the link below of this video. If you haven't already, join us below and you'll get an inside look of what we're trading, when we're selling, and when we're taking profits. Because again, it's all about taking profits. So with that said, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. And most importantly, like I said, join our Patreon page, because if you want to get all the alpha calls on our buy and sell orders in both cryptocurrencies, crypto stocks, and NFTs, then you have to join below. Until then, see you guys and girls next time.